You know, the biggest thing that Coach is talking to him about is consistency and us being disciplined enough to go out there day in and day out and not only make the plays but do it the right way, do it with class, do it the Seminole way, do it with toughness, do it with effort. And I think the big thing is just discipline and consistency. That's what we're trying to get. And in practice in fall camp, not having one great practice and being up here and then the next one bringing it down here, but having that consistency each day of getting better and being in that consistent going upwards and not falling.
Let's talk about the first year you got here a couple of years ago to now. Leadership-wise from your team, how has it changed? Because it seemed like every time we talk to one of the players, they mention, you know, we're doing things more together, we're doing things off the field, and from watching practice from our perspective, it really seems like things have totally changed since 2010.
You're looking at year number 3 in this system with Coach Fisher. You're looking at guys that we've recruited and now they've bonded. The good part is that in those first 2 years, all those freshmen, they started to play. You know, we either played them on special teams or they were forced to start because of an injury. You know, you look at the offensive line, that's as deep as we've been since I've been here. And so, you know, when you have that, then you build that camaraderie and they're becoming closer. Coach Fisher really does a great job of how he set it up, that the locker room now is offense, defense, and everybody mixed together instead of separate. And he's always talking about guys, we're a team. And I think that just they're building a bond, and I think they see their potential. And so, you know, I think that's part of that team chemistry.
Let's talk a little bit about your segment. Maybe as deep as you've had since you've been here. More than anything, how nice is it to see Chris Thompson back out there, especially the injury that he sustained, and seeing him, at least from our perspective, really doing outstanding in drills. It really seems like he's not missing a beat.
It just makes my job a lot easier, and then for the offense to have him back there, what he means in protection, what he does in the passing game, and then obviously in the run game, he's been really good. Camp has been really good for him so far. But he is infectious to Devontae and to James Wilder and to everybody, and he's kind of our guy. So having him back has been really, really good. And losing Mario, you know, I would say we have really good depth, you know, if you had Mario in the mix. But losing him, we have good depth because, you know, you had Devontae and Chris that missed the spring, so you don't know where they're. But right now they're healthy and they're strong, and so if they stay like that, then we've really got good depth.
As a coach, what excites you about that segment?
Well, you know what? Just their attitude. They come to work every day. I told them yesterday, I said, I'm so proud to coach you, and I'm proud that the way you come out and compete every day. And you're either going to cost or you're going to count against your team every day in practice. We got to hear that this week from a good friend of ours that has come here. He's a Navy SEAL. And each day you either get better or you don't. Okay, you're either going to cost your team or you're going to count. And we've really been focused on, we're going to count every day. We're not going to miss one of these opportunities, and they've done that. So now, like Coach always talks about, we're not coaching effort. That's done. That's a culture here. Now what I get to coach is technique, the little things that help you become the elite and to be a champion.
Talk a little bit about just your role with a lot of these guys, if it's a Dustin or if it's a guy in special teams or any of the running backs. Whenever we talk to them, they always talk about you as being a real big father figure to them, the guy that's maybe their dad away from home, or maybe they didn't grow up with a dad and you kind of fulfill that role. As a coach, how much joy do you take in that, and how much does that really make your job maybe even better than actually just coaching football?
Well, that's really my why. That's why I coach. You know, you get a chance to minister, you get a chance to just, if you're that guy, that's fine. You know, I have children, and when I recruit a young man, I always talk to their parents about that. I've got to be that person when you're away. You know, and I tell them I'm gonna treat them just like my kids, and you know, I hope they see who I am, the way I act, and so that's kind of my why and why I do what I do. And obviously Saturdays and the coaching part's great, but I get to touch everybody. I'm very fortunate because I'm in special teams. So I get to visit with the defense, the Tyler Hunters, the Telvin Smiths, and you know, I get to hug their neck too. And that's really cool for me.